Good morning. This is part three of hopefully getting you ready to write your book. And I promised that I was going to try to break this up in as many parts as necessary from my experience. I am not an expert on writing books. I'm just giving you guys my experience in writing my book. This is my book that I wrote, and I'm a first-time author, so I'm just giving you my experience because I was totally green behind the ears in regards to all of the processes that it took to get this to this. So the first thing is knowing your why, making sure that you determine exactly the reason why you're writing your book. And the reason why I wrote my book is because I wanted to tell my daughter's story. Number two thing that I mentioned yesterday is for you to just to start writing. And it's so important, and I told you yesterday to just start writing. So now that you've gotten all of your tissue papers and toilet tissue paper gathered and you've gathered all of the journal notes and all of the things that you've written, it's time to organize. And I mentioned yesterday about some people say start with your outline first. Now it's time for you to kind of organize. And in your organizing, you're going to have to determine what type of book you're writing. So this is when you're telling your story, that's called a memoir. And so if you're telling your story, then that's called a memoir. And a memoir is a non-fiction book. So if that's your genre, if that's what you're writing, then you know that you're writing a memoir. And that is based on your own experience. It's not based on research. It's not based on anybody else's story. It's based on yours. And so with you writing that memoir, that's going to guide you into how you're going to determine your chapters. So once you've gathered all of your information and you've kind of gotten it, you know what you're doing, you know you're writing your story, you're going to have to put that into some type of order. And for me, it changed. First, I wanted to write from the first call. And then I changed it. I wanted to write from when Lexi was a little girl. And then I changed it back to the call again. And then I think I changed it back to a little girl. And then finally, when I sent it to an editor, one of the editors suggested for flow that I started in chronological order. So it's all, it's all a process. You may start one way and end up another. So just be mindful of that now is the time for you to start putting things in order. And be thinking about the fact that once you get all of this in order, you're still going to have someone that you can trust to help you get it in order. For me, I had a mentor. My mentor helped me with all of the pertinent details of getting the story out, because what I basically had was what was in my head and in my heart, and some of those things did not include, like bringing a person into the scene. Color, what color was it? How did it feel? What was the temperature? What did it look like outside? What did you smell? All the things pertaining to your senses. So you have to feel all of those things out in your story, because your thing is that you're trying to get people to feel what you feel, see what you see, hear what you hear. And all of that has to be a part of your writing. And you'll have to fill those in, because you want people, when they read your book, to feel like that they were that person, that they were you. When you write a book, you want them to feel like that they were you. And so part of that is with your words and being able to have descriptive words that can bring the audience into where you are. So number one is know your why. Number two, you start writing. Just start getting all of your ideas together and writing. And number three, you start trying to bring that into order. For me, I had a mentor that helped me to ask me questions that I hadn't thought about when I was there. When you went to the scene, what did you see? And then I had to describe what I saw. And that was what he said, put that in the book. What you saw, put that in the book. And he said, well, what did you hear? Put that in the book. And so the part of it is just writing descriptive words so that you can bring the audience in so that they can feel what you feel. So that's the third thing is to start putting in some order and start to think about where you're going with this book and bringing the audience in. Hope that makes sense. This is number 3.